Your brain won't switch off. You already know that. You've tried distraction music, scrolling at 2 a.m., anything to get a moment of quiet. But the thoughts keep coming. The same scenarios, the same conversations, replaying things that already happened, rehearsing things that probably never will. And somewhere along the way, you started to think, this is just how my brain works. But what if overthinking isn't a personality trait? What if it's a symptom of something much older than that? Overthinking feels like a thinking problem. Like if you could just think better, think less, think differently, you'd be okay. But that's not what is really happening. Overthinking is what the mind does when it doesn't feel safe enough to stop. It's scanning, looking for the threat, trying to control what happens next by thinking through every possible outcome in advance. And that makes sense. If you grew up in an environment that was unpredictable, where things could shift without warning, your mind learned to stay ahead of it. Thinking was how you stayed safe. So the question isn't why you overthink, it's what taught your mind that thinking was the only way to survive. Here's the reframe that changed things for me. Overthinking isn't weakness. It's it's hypervigilance. Your brain got very good at something, anticipating, preparing, protecting, and it still does that even when the original threat is gone. Even when you're safe now. The problem the problem isn't that you think too much. The problem is that your nervous system hasn't been told it's allowed to rest. You're not broken. You're overprepared for a danger that no longer exists. And here's what that means: you can't think your way out of overthinking because thinking is the symptom, not not the cure. And and the cost of living in that constant loop is real. It costs you sleep, the kind where your body actually rests instead of your mind just running quiet. It costs you decisions because when you can see every possible outcome moving forward, it really feels impossible. Every choice carries the weight of every scenario you've played out. It it costs you presence. You're physically in the room, but mentally 3 conversations ahead, 3 weeks ahead, even 3 versions of a future that might never even happen. And you're exhausted, not because you're weak, but because your mind has been working a full shift every hour of every day for longer than you can remember. So, what would it actually feel like to finally let it stop? Not not forever, but just for a moment. I want to say something that might be uncomfortable. The the thoughts you keep coming back to, the scenarios, the what ifs, the conversations you replay, they're they're not looking for the answer. They're looking for the safety. And no amount of thinking will give you that, because safety safety isn't a thought, it's a feeling. And feelings live in the body, not the mind. So when you catch yourself spiraling, the goal isn't to think better thoughts, it's to ask your body, what do you need right now to feel safe? Sometimes, sometimes the answer is breath, sometimes it's movement, sometimes it's just putting your feet on the floor and reminding yourself where you actually are. Because the mind follows the body. When the body feels safe, the thoughts start to quiet. You're not going to stop overthinking overnight, but you can start to notice it differently. Not as a flaw, not as something wrong with you, but as a signal that that part of you is scared, and scared, it means compassion, not criticism. The the next time the loop starts, instead of trying to think your way out of it, try asking, what am I actually afraid of right now? Not the surface answer, the real one. And then just sit with it. Just sit with it without trying to fix it, without trying to solve it, just letting yourself feel it. You were never too, you were never thinking too much. You were feeling too much and had nowhere safe to put it.